Hello everybody, this is Frogman and welcome back to Ultimate Alchemy. This is episode number 11. In the last episode we got gunpowder, sand, and automated TNT going on over there with Britannia, and it has since, I believe, caught up. So we've got plenty of TNT to play with, and we are working on the gunpowder. Gunpowder got to where it needed to be, and so did the sand, so the system has shut off. I did go ahead and get an ender chest on the system down there, and I crammed a couple of speed upgrades in it so that we could make gravel pretty quickly, at least for right now. And we ended the episode by making cake. And cake was one of these things that's, this is a deal that I want because I need to be able to go down the route of a few different things. So cake, of course, requires milk. Milk is made in a fermenter with protein soup and sugar, and eggs, if I can get the egg, is made out of egg yolk, which is protein soup and milk. So that's done. We got us a couple of cakes, and the question then becomes, why do we want cakes? Well, I want to utilize this type of a crafting thing in quite a few different places because of the fact that there's a lot of things this can do, and the other catalyst, I would like to be able to use them. And unfortunately, they take a lot of mana to make their stuff happen. So even in just a little bit of crafting that's gone, we've kind of used a little bit over here. I mean, I know it doesn't look like much. They're all about, I don't know, maybe a third full. Or yeah, about a quarter full actually looks like now. Most of them are in, they're just various differencing things. So we've got quite a few pools going on. Plus, we're going to want to be able to make some more mana. So cake. With cake, we can make another type of rune. So we're going to look at a Rune of Winter. And a Rune of Winter takes a little bit more stuff, but it requires a cake. So we need a Rune of Water, a Rune of Earth, 2 blocks of snow, and a white wool. So now you know why I wanted the snow. So we need 2 snows, one of these. What was it? Water and earth. So water, earth, excuse me, and a cake. So let's make these guys real quick. If I can get these on my hotbar. There we go. 1, 2, 1, and go. That should be fairly quick. Where is my living rocks? And he's done. That's the beauty of the Elven Mana Spreaders with the velocity lens on them, because they go pretty quick. And of course we get the... Where did you go? Give me that back. We get the 2 runes that we use to make that rune back. So with a Rune of Winter, that will allow us to make another rune, which, boy, I cannot do it today. Excuse me. That will allow us to make a Rune of Wrath. And a Rune of Wrath, again, we're going to need a Rune of Earth and 2 mana diamonds, which I should already have crafted. And I think that was a Rune of Wrath, which is a Rune of Earth, which we already have. So we can put the Rune of Winter on, the Rune of Earth, and 2 mana diamonds, and this is a tier 3. And again, going to be fairly quick. Maybe you know where we're going with this. Maybe you don't. But as soon as that fills up, we're going to make the thing that I want to make a lot of mana with. Thank you. We'll just put these guys away. We don't need you, we don't need you, and we don't need you. I think actually I need a Rune of Fire. What I want to make lots of mana with is going to be an Entrapinium. The Entrapinium mainly because of the fact that we have to automate TNT anyway. So we need 2 reds, 2 grays, and 2 whites. So 1, 2, 1, 2. Ooh, I am out of those. Let's quick make a couple of those real quick. Boop, boop, and gimme those. I will probably start automating some of these here fairly soon, just because we're going to be able to quickly craft various things if we can get to a certain point on it. So we'll just do a couple of things there. I don't think I'm going to be auto-crafting the grays, but we will probably be doing the reds and the reds and yellows, I think. I don't remember. I have to play with this, or that is something else that we're going to be doing anyway. But all right, so we needed 2 of those, and I can put the rest of these back. Where did you go? You went down there, and 2 whites, and a seed, any old seed, and my bucket. Where the crap is my bucket? Fine. So we're sitting here. We have this fun part where I'm getting tired of playing with buckets. So let's make a wand to help us with this process. Let me see. It is a... So it should be a wand, right? It is... it's not a staff. It's not a staff. It's a wand. Wand. Where is it? It's not any of these? Now you're going to make me look it up. Where is my Botania book? I'm tired of playing with buckets. Tired of playing with buckets. Tired of playing with buckets. Let's not play with buckets anymore. So I need a generating floor, functional floor. It says mystical items. Mystical items, mystical items. We want a rod of the seas. It's a rod. Rod of the seas. Rod of the seas should be pretty simple to make. It's just going to be a rune of water, living with twig, and a water bottle. Again, here we go down a really quick loop, or a really quick rabbit hole, I should say. So we should have some glass, maybe. Do I have any bottles made already? No. Next project is getting rid of this system. Next project is getting rid of this system because I'm tired of playing with it. We need a couple of bottles, so I need just one more piece of glass. Give me a piece of glass, and I made some marble because, you know, I can. So a bottle is a bottle is a bottle, and we can put you over here, and that just requires to be filled with some water, which I should be able to do right here. Thank you. And then we can craft one of these things. So I should have a stick. I do have a stick, and I do have plenty of runes of water. Where is my crafting thing? And Rod of the Seas. And Rod of the Seas is basically, it's a bucket. So it's pretty awesome, plus it auto-fills these things. So, all right, on to the next thing. So a Rune of Wrath, a Rune of Fire, 1, 2 of those, 1, 2 of those, 1, 2 of those. Should say Entropinium, and it does give me that sucker. All right, now this guy is going to use TNT to make mana. And he is a picky pain in the butt little flower, because if you're not careful with him, he will blow everything up in the area. It basically uses a blast of TNT to make a whole lot of mana. So we're going to start over here. And the reason why I have this here is because when I place this guy down, you're going to see something. Because I have the little... this thing, the Manosphere Monocle, I went ahead and made one of those. It allows me to see the distance at which the flowers can see things. And these guys can see a really long ways away. To the point that where that other block is going to be, this other one right here, this is where the other flower is going to be. So I want to make sure that these guys are as far away from each other as possible, because they will steal each other's TNT. So I do want to make sure that, again, that the TNT is placed either right here or right here. And then we're going to just broadcast the mana this direction. But I'm going to try to keep a little bit of this a little bit contained, because I do not want it blowing everything up. So, Mr. Entropinium, come here, please, sir. We're going to start building the build. So, let's do... I guess we can put these away real quick. Let's get some clean inventory space, since we don't have a lot. I can put that away, and we'll just do that for now. Okay, so we know that he has to be right here, or at least it has to be this distance from that one. So what I want to do is we're going to start building this from the back. So dispenser, I need the redstone alloy things, some obsidian, a sequencer, redstone control circuit, structural ducts, and this is just in case I need it, plus a mana spreader, and I need a mana lens velocity. Now, a detector. If I can spell. Mana Detector requires a redstone comparator. We're going to want one of those so that we can tell when this thing needs to shut off. So we're going to go run down here. I think I should have one of these. Maybe I have one on me. No. I almost had everything ready for the episode, and then I was like, oh yeah, there's one more thing. Well, let's make a Mana Detector with a bit of this, and I left those up there. Do we have sticks? No, but we can craft a stick. We have a stick. Good deal. All right. A Mana Detector is going to be able to detect the pulse from when the basically what happens is it understands when the system is going to be crafting various things. So like I said, if we're shooting a mana stream or a mana burst through this, it's going to be able to detect it and emit a redstone signal so that we can tell when this thing is producing. So like if I put this, I think I can put it right now. Give me this back. I think I can put him right. Where did you go? Where did it go? Oh, you're up there. Cute. If I placed it right in front of it, and if I can get the spot that I want, it'd probably be best right there. We can see that it's blinking because every time that shoots through it, it blinks. That's basically letting me know that it's checking on things to see. It's letting me know that there's a mana burst coming through the system. So we want to think about that when we're doing this. So I want that pool. I guess we'll put it, because I need to be able to drop the TNT somewhere that is going to be relatively safe. So let's start with right there. And I'm going to take a dispenser because he's going to be the thing that's going to take care of the TNT for us. I want to place the Entropinium 2 blocks away so that he has plenty of room. And then we're going to do a mana pool, mana spreader, that's fine, and the mana detector. Now I need to go ahead and bind this to that pool and this flower to that mana spreader, and we're going to give him a velocity lens, which if you don't know how to make it, this is how you make it. And pixie dust is just throwing the mana pearls in that thing. This just makes sure that we're going to empty that thing as quickly as we possibly can. So if I, for giggles, grab one of these right now, and we place this down right here, and I should have a redstone torch. Yes, I do. Okay, good deal. We put these down. He's going to go off. And I'm going to stand right here. And he's going to sit there and make mana. And he's going to make a lot of mana. Now, the deal with this flower is if I place down another lit or another piece of TNT while it's producing, we can have a major problem because of the fact it will try to explode the system around it. Basically what it's doing is it's absorbing the TNT blast. Where is my thing? And watch, he fills clear up full of it. So we have to be careful about it. We have to make sure that that guy is completely empty before we set down another TNT. And the easiest way to do that is to detect when it's done firing the man off. So basically we're just going to pull a signal off of this and then send a signal over to here once that thing has decided there's nothing else coming through it. And we're going to do that with a sequencer and some redstone conduits and structural ducts and some redstone relays. So unfortunately I have to dig out the floor because this all should fit in the floor, but we need to be able to get to that block and that block and this block and that block. So let's just go ahead and move some of this out of the way. Oh boy. Hey, do me a favor. Shush. Thank you. Okay, so what I want to do is I want to read the contents of two things. I want to read the contents, or there should say read the signal off of this, and I want to read the contents of this, because what I'm going to do is I want to be able to send a signal off of the mana pool once it's half full so that I know that we've filled those guys up. I don't want this to continuously run because of the fact we're detecting when it's running. So we're going to do that with a structural duct on both of these two guys. And I'm going to go ahead and set this up, and I hope I have enough of these. 1 and 2. Now, on the mana pool, we're going to do the same thing here. We're going to take a comparator input, and I want to do a threshold of 7 or 8, somewhere around half full, and that's perfectly fine. So when it hits about half full, this is going to emit a redstone signal, and I want it to emit, let me see, where is my little paper that I've already got this figured out with? We're going to change that channel to green. Okay. Here, you're going to be a redstone input, and the redstone input, where is my little thingy? Mana pool, relay, red inverted. Okay, so we need to do an inverted scale on you. Input. so that when that thing's firing, it should. Let's go test this real quick. I need a block. Put a block down. When that's firing, that dude should flip back and forth. Bang. Yeah, okay, that's what I want to see. I want an inverted signal, because basically what we're going to do with this is the thing that is going to reset the clock for when we need to be able to put something down. So, alrighty then. I don't have any nice blocks. Let's get a little bit of this stuff right here. Thank you. And we'll do a little bit of that right there so we got something to build on. Alright, now I need to build a little bitty platform right here so that we can have something to kind of work with. That worked really, really, really well right there. I guess, whatever. Just something to be able to work with here. Okay. And we'll just do this just in case that's not big enough. Man, I'm just missing everywhere today. Okay, anyhow, so that gets us to the point where we know how full the mana pool is and when we're firing off a burst of mana. So the next step that I want to do is I want to dig my sequencer out, because the sequencer is going to be about the only really easy to use clock that I can get for right now, because this clock is going to allow me to do a few things. So in here I want to set this to once too, which means when a redstone signal is received, loop the cycle once, restart it if a new pulse arrives. Restart it if a new pulse arrives. So what it's going to do is it's going to sit here and restart as this one decides to tell it what it needs to do. So this is the one that's going to say, hey, restart, 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 restart. As soon as it stops emitting a signal, or the last time it stops, the last time it ticks, it's going to allow this sequence to run. And I want that sequencer to be on about, let me see, this is 9, this is 8, 16, 17. So that's 17 ticks after it stops. That's just going to give me enough time. And then what it's going to do is it's going to run through all of these ticks. When it hits that one, it's going to emit a redstone signal out here that is going to fire this dispenser and hopefully not blow everything up. And then it's going to wait for the next, basically what that's going to happen is come on, Franzel. It's going to continue working through this sequence, and once it hits the end of the sequence, it's going to start the sequence over unless it gets a redstone signal. And this is enough time here for that TNT to be placed, fire off, and start again. So we want to get some more structural ducts down here, and we're going to do this, and I guess I don't need to do that completely. What I'm going to do here is on the sequence side, I want to output the red signal. So we're going to output a red signal here. This is probably going to sound a little weird, but we're going to do it again inverted. And if I have a little bit of redstone, we can kind of watch this. Let me see. Redstone. Give me some redstone. I need that repeater too. Doesn't really matter. If I put this down, it's counting, or at least it's not counting right now because it hasn't received a signal to start over with. So once we get this figured out, we've got the input, I should say output. Duct power should be inverted, so that means relay power is out. It knows that it has a signal. As soon as this flicks, or as soon as that one up here turns, it's going to change into what it needs to be. I am out of relays. I need to go make some more relays. Great. Okay, so real quick, just got some relays set up. So the next step in this process, and I hate it when I have to do that, but the next step in this process is we're going to have to be able to read and utilize the comparator output, which is right there. So that comparator output is on a channel of green. So what we want to do here on this one is we want to, and I need to get this output green inverted, so we need to go output inverted green, so that we can then measure, come here, I need you to go right there, with a, I believe I have it on a full tick, yeah, close enough, and this is just going to be, man, what did I just do to my mouse? There we go, that's better. Okay, this is going to allow me to be able to get a little bit of time between the two things that are going to happen here. So we're going to bring the structural duct back around, and like so here, and that needs to be the difference between the green and the red. So this is going to be, again, red. I know there's a lot of inverteds here, but that's fine. So what that's going to do is I'm going to read the level off of this mana pool, and once it hits a threshold of 8, this is going to turn on that power, which is going to shut off this power, which is going to allow me to lock this sequencer. This one up here, because it's an inverted, is going to sit there and toggle back and forth on this relay here, which is going to continuously reset this timer or this sequencer until it is done shooting. And as soon as it's done doing that, it'll be allowed to run the sequence. So if we go ahead and drop a piece of TNT down here and look at this sequencer, we should see it start stepping. See how it reset up here in the corner? Wish I could move my mouse. Come on. And as soon as it finishes, there. It finished and it went. As soon as it finished, that was the pulse that we needed in order to be able to do the drop. So in this section, I'm going to be using Redstone Conduit because I need to be able to also fill this thing. So on here, we're going to go ahead and set that to an input. We're going to set this to an output on red. And if I put a bit of TNT in there, and I guess I need a piece of wood, or I could just grab another piece of TNT, since we're going to be making a bunch of it anyway. If I place that down and break this torch, and we go down here and watch this, it's constantly resetting. And once it gets done, it set one down, we're still pulsing through the system, and it goes again. Now, if I don't like that, I can just move the placement down a little bit. And I think actually we're going to move it down one more row just because it seems to be a little faster than I would like it to be. Done. And it'll just keep doing that. So now if I were to, say, take my mana band here and fill that pool up, it's going to shoot one more. And probably, hopefully, very hopefully, that's the last one. See? Didn't light one out. So that means I can control when this thing functions. That's the last time it's going to fire. And if I am good enough to get this in here, and we set you back to, hey, no, this way. And we get our acceleration wand. You're supposed to tick. I've got something screwed up down here. You were supposed to tick. That's not supposed to be. Is that supposed to be inverted? Did I set this up correctly? This is red. This is green. Oh, I had this working. Is it once two? It's supposed to be once two. What are you holding for? Why aren't you starting over? It's supposed to tick. Whatever. Anyhow, I'll get that sorted out. This is supposed to be functioning, and it was working just perfectly fine in a test world. Apparently, I can't read my schematics, so I will fiddle with this until I get it to go to work. So we'll be back once I get that done. Okay, so I think I got it figured out what I did wrong or didn't do either way. So at least it should be functional at this point. So what we're doing, and again, like we said, we're going to be looking at this. So just to explain this circuit, we're detecting here, and I think I had this one wrong. I think I had this one inverted, and I wanted it as an input, and I wanted it to emit a pulse, basically, so that it can turn this relay off right here. So the whole goal here is we're going to measure while this thing is firing into this mana pool, and we're going to toggle this thing on and off. We're basically just going to keep resetting it. Once that system stops, or so once that thing stops firing, it will allow that sequencer to run, which will allow it to place another TNT block down. Now, this system here, this one right here, is making a measured pulse, or basically it's measuring the contents of that mana pool, and when that mana pool gets to be about half full, it will send a signal to this relay, which is currently set to inverted. And the reason why it's set to inverted is that I want this pulse right here. I want the ability right here to be able to invert the signal and hold it for just a little bit. So what it's going to do is it's going to shut this repeater off, which will then shut this thing off. Or basically what it's going to do is it's not going to shut it off. It's going to turn this relay on, which is then going to turn that on and hold that in place, or I should say probably even shut it off for that matter. It doesn't really matter. It's basically going to invert this signal right here so that this thing is not going to run. When that pool runs under that limit, it's going to shut this repeater off, which is going to send a redstone signal that way, which will allow that thing to start counting again and start up, hopefully. To show that this time, if we grab our band of mana and toss the band of mana in there and go like this and help it fill up, we should see that repeater will shut off if I get a little bit more mana. Let's see. Give me some more mana, please. Which way are you set? You're set the wrong way. Give me a little bit of that. Other way. Other way. Give me a little bit more, please. Thank you. Hopefully this works this time. So if I put that in there, that's off. You see it? It's off. Now, if I turn this around and fill that back up, that allowed that to count, then it starts back over. And he makes more mana for us. All right. And if that works, once it finishes, it'll lay another one down. Now, I am going to cheese this a lot. If you place a TNT block into obsidian, it will be just perfectly fine. It'll exist. The blast still happens. But because the TNT block is contained inside that obsidian, it won't blow up the surrounding area. So it's going to make a big boom, lots of nastiness. But if it accidentally ticks twice and puts another TNT block in there, we won't blow everything up. So that should be functional, at least as far as being automated is concerned. So I can cover all of this up for right now. And we need to find the bottom of this right here. And I need to go make a limited item filter for that, don't I? Where are all my item ducts? Give me item ducts, item conduits, item whatever. And yeah, I will probably end up making some kind of sound muffler for at least that part of the process, because it gets really annoying very quickly. Go, and you're going to be insert on grain. We're not going to extract, and we'll just run that over to there, and that should be good enough for that part. Can I get back out of this hole? No. Over here. Can we get out of there? Thank you. All right. So that should just sit there and run, and it shouldn't overrun itself. And once this fills up, like I say, we should be getting pretty close to being about full. Whoa, that's not what I wanted. I want this. Once that fills up, it's going to stop the process, which is awesome. So go ahead and I'm going to have to build a filter for that before I do anything else, but that's okay. Cool. All right, so last step, of course, is we're going to put a spark on that, and we're going to put a recessive augment on that, and it can, hey, there you go, dump all of its mana up there. Sweet. Now we're going to build another one of these over here, just so I can have too many of them. But that will make plenty of mana for the time being. And as long as I am still okay as far as not being in the way, we'll be okay to go there. Bang. Cool. It works. Nice. Nice, 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 nice. These are okay, and I mean, you can make them work a lot better if you wanted to just do this. I mean, it is doable. This is doable. Watch how quickly it shoots through the charcoal, though. It's this one doing that, and it probably filled that, though. I don't want to do that. Put that back on. And it probably filled that mana spreader up full. But that's fine. You can just spam those down, or you can do something silly like this. There we go. Now, I can speed this process up just a little bit if I were to move this up here. It's better to be safe than sorry. I guess we could try maybe that one. The quicker you can get the TNT down, the faster it can, you know, start working again. So, but this should be functional, at least in this world for the time being. As long as the timing in the world doesn't start getting stupid, we'll be okay. Awesome. All right, I am going to build that item filter later. We don't really need it right now. Put that away. And I have enough to make the next stuff, or at least a few more other things. So, all right, so with that being done, because I had to cut, I have no idea how much time I have right now. So I want to do a little bit of looking at the next possible thing, which is going to be refined storage. At refined storage. Little bit of a cluster mess there, but we're going to have to start working on these. So the part of the reason why I wanted that system was so that I could get quartz, and quartz iron is something that I don't think we can alloy. Can we alloy this? Molten silver. Yeah, we're going to have to look at making an induction smelter in order to be able to produce the quartz iron that we have. So to end the episode, let's get an induction smelter made and maybe a little bit of that stuff. So induction smelter is not too terribly hard to do. He's an Invar gear, which I think we should have some Invar. We do. Good deal. Invar and 2 copper gears. 1, 2. One of these, another redstone reception coil, and a machine frame, which is a tin gear. And hopefully we got enough glass. We do. And 2 pieces of sand. Sand. I can do that. 2 pieces of sand, induction smelter, hooray. So that can mean that we can stop using a lot of that thing. We don't need to worry about it so much anymore. So I'm going to have to find a place to put this one. Is there anything in that one? No. We'll get rid of you. We'll put you down. And we will set all of your sides to just not do anything. And quartz, let me see. Quartz enriched iron. Quartz iron. Quartz enriched iron is again induction smelter with an iron ingot and a silver ingot. So silver and iron, because we're going to need a lot of this, and we will let that go to work. There we go. And I will go ahead and make an upgrade kit and all that stuff for this guy. But in the next episode, we're going to be working on getting refined storage up and running so I can get rid of this stuff so we can start actually automating more of the processes. Because at this point in time, I believe I know how to make grass blocks. We already have cobblestone. That's perfectly fine. Nether quartz we can get. Wood, we have an ungodly amount of wood. And lapis we can make if we want to. Wither skeletons, part of the reason why I wanted the system up there is so that I can get lots and lots and lots of the drops of evil. So drop of evil, once again, is if you pulverize or crush TNT, you have a 10% chance of getting the drop of evil out of both of these deals. And a drop of evil is just industrial grade evil, which we can use a transposer to fill a skeleton skull, which is a bone block, which is this, which we know how to make. So we're going to have to start working on some of the processes for that system. We need to start getting the rest of this thing done, and I think we'll start with refined storage. So I guess that's enough for me for right now for this one. We will come back and start building a refined storage system, hopefully. So I will see you guys in the next one. Thanks for watching. Bye.